morning, friends. This is Rick, and this is your seat at the table. Actually, it's afternoon. It's a rare day where I'm doing it videos at 4 in the afternoon. Uh, it's Labor Day weekend, and I actually work today. I'm not going to get a big spiel on that, but no, surprisingly, the wife didn't grasp about me doing some videos, which is awesome. Awesome, great. So anyway, this is Star Wars Truce at Bakura source book. Now, when the novel came out, it was I forget, right after Jedi or shortly after Jedi, and the idea was that this picked up literally right after the battle at Endor, and the book's really good, but the source book's literally verbatim what's in the novel, so the novel set the bar for it. Let's see. I don't know. And it's kind of an offshoot because it doesn't, it was considered Legends, but also considered kind of beta Legends at the time, or beta canon at the time. February is 1996, so the book would have come out in 95, probably late 95, maybe early 95, 96, because this would have come out tied together. This is back when the company started having novels and game supplement material come out hand in hand, and some of the bigger companies started to do the book publishing for novels and stuff as well, and then later that expanded into bigger companies. But anyway, so the contents here: Chapter 1, the aftermath of the Battle of Endor, the state of war, the Emperor's trap, darkest hour, tide turns, the fighting rages on, Kenobi offensive and the Akbar refinement, deposition, whatever. Then we got another deposition. Alright, so rescue temp. So basically, Bakura is under attack by an alien invasion force from outside your domain. Estimate 5 cruisers, several dozen support ships, over 1,000 small fighters. Unknown technology. We have lost half our defense force and all of our outer system defense outposts. Holonet transmissions to Imperial Center and the Death Star have gone unanswered. Urgent, repeat, urgent. Send Stormtroopers. This, of course, from the Imperials were controlling Bakura. Bakura is this planet and system that's on the very edge of space, and there's this sub galaxy or pocket galaxy. There's a term for it. It's just like the Ricci Mage. It's right outside of or within jump distance of, or hyperdrive distance of the main galaxy, and Bakura is right there at the edge of it. And the enemy is this weird alien race that's coming from that particular place, and they use some pretty potent stuff. And anyway, so the distress call is pretty frantic. Warm reception. The Imperials are grateful to have any help, including the rebels. Help. Luke Skywalker is tasked to lead this force. Han Solo and Princess Leia go along. Leia is there to do the diplomatic side of things, and Han Solo is there to do what Han Solo does. First meeting, Truce at Bakura. It says here, the mysterious alien invaders have been in contact with the Emperor for several years, though they were unknown to the Bakurans and the forces of the Rebel Alliance, and perhaps even all the Imperials save the Emperor himself. While the Bakurans had taken to calling the aliens fluties after their tweeting song-like speech, the aliens were formerly known as the Shrunk. The following terms are used. Ciceruk refers to the aliens themselves. The term Ciceruvi is used whenever referring to possession or possessions of the Cicerunk, for example, blah, blah, and so on and so forth. So again, uneasy alliance between the rebels and the Empire against the invaders. Tension mounts. This is like a prelude to the big ugly outside invasion that comes later from the visit Bong, I'm butchering it. Calm before the storm clouds gather, and note that these aliens and those aliens are not even remotely the same. Storm breaks, abduction of Luke Skywalker, and of course, after the situation and the conclusion of the Bakuran incident, the Ciceruk stay in their little pocket galaxy or pocket place and never come back or never show up again in any canon or legends that I'm aware of, story I'm aware of. Second battle begins, Jedi breakout, tension, last battle in game, public's pulse. So 3, the forces of the Alliance, Commander Luke Skywalker, right after success at the Battle of Endor and the destruction of the second Death Star. Commander Luke Skywalker, if they all live by the Jedi Code, Princess Leia Organa, and General Han Solo, wool gathering, Chewbacca, R2-D2, C-3PO, all the stats and stuff current for that particular moment in time. The Alliance of Free Planets, Mon Mothma, Akbar Akbar, Chris Nadine, Declaration of the Alliance of Free Planets, new characters, the newest rebels, more NPCs come out of the novel and out of stories. Kin from Afar. Chapter 4, Forces of the Empire. Imperial control the Outer Rim territories. Pacification, conclusions. Imperial Governor Wilek Nereus. Governor was assigned to the Bakura System due to a bureaucratic error. Nereus steadily worked towards the governorship of Genosis, blah, blah. A bunch of NPCs and stuff to go into effect for to pledge out the Imperial forces. Fuel the Shelter, the Second Pledge, Captain Con Dragon, True Talent, blah, blah, blah. More stuff about the Empire. Imperial garrisons, modular base construction, undercover security agents, garrison base at Bakura. Chapter 5, Bakura itself, the system overview. Bakura lies on the outer edge of the Outer Rim territories, making it for a very remote system in a region of space that is considered to be almost a wilderness. Despite the region's isolation, the human inhabitants of Bakura maintain a modest economy by exporting repulsor lift coils to the Empire. Originally chartered by the Bakura Corporation as a self-sufficient mining community a century and a half ago, the planet was open to outside settlement during the final years of the Clone Wars. The Bakura system was annexed by the Empire 3 years ago. Appendix 1, blah. Planet overview, system data file, information on the planet itself and the system, Baker Complex, the government building, the Great Hall, blah, blah. Its economy, the actual, well, humans are not native to Bakura. There's indigenous species, which of course, and their history, the Bakurian droid uprising, the Empire arrives, the government, all there's a cosmic balance, Bakurian religion, Bakurian characters, so we'll get NPCs, there's a public prosecutor, prime minister, balanced point, too many kinds of blindness, coward's love, one less seditionist, free choice, big story and drama that goes on. There's, multiple story levels going on all the time in most stories, and as your characters get involved in something, you don't always know what the bigger picture is. They're just a piece of the bigger picture, maybe an important, crucial one. So in this case, they would be taking part of this defense of Bakura against the aliens, which brings us to Chapter 6, the Scissorunk. Let's see. On the databanks that captured Shiver have, upon translation, revealed a great deal of information concerning the Scissorunk, history, government, custom, rituals, even dossiers on the aliens present at Bakura have been explained to some detail. Their appearance of physical characteristics, they kind of look like this really alien bird-like critter. They have the Petuix, which is a Syrian species that are basically a slave race to the Scissorunk. Their history, galaxy-wide news sets, their society, their government, family clan, and case structure, and techment. One of their things is that somehow they managed to take the living force, or the life force, out of a living being and entrench it and embedded into their technology. So their power sources for their ships, their fighters, their droids, all come from living energy. Basically, they've sucked the life out of a living person to use it to power as a battery and use it to power up their devices, which is one of the reasons they invaded the Bakurian space system in the first place, because they're looking for more power sources that doesn't involve themselves. There are some pictures of the alien fellows themselves, so you can see they're kind of more like a dinosaur than a bird, but there is what it is. Some more up close versions of it. Particular NPCs, strangers with sweets. There you go. Kind of like Raptors, right? Yeah, a long time. I read this book a couple weeks ago. Went back through it. Grazed through it. Didn't read it cover to cover again, but I did a couple times way in the back. And the novel I read probably 6 or 7 times. Chapter 7, creatures, predators and parasites. Predators, various things that you can find in the area, in the system, on the planet, blah, blah, blah. Things you got to deal with, maybe encounter, other things. Nice little funky looking parasite there. Other parasites. Kandarian hookworm, disposed lice. Seems like to me they're really stretching to fill up the chapter. Chapter 8, the Starships, ships of the Rebel Alliance. The Fury, which is a starship, or a starfighter carrier. Medical Runner, which is a Sub Sprint class medical rescue craft. Here is the Cicerunk planetary assault cruiser. Patrol craft versus their cruiser and light cruiser, manufacturing ship, and planetary lander, picket ship, one of their droid battle droids, ships of the Imperial Navy. Carrack light cruiser is the biggest thing out here for the Imperial Empire, so there's no Star Destroyers to whistle up. System patrol craft, Cicerunk starship and details. The fleet, the enemy fleet. Their battle droids, light cruisers, picket ships. Chapter 9 vehicles, patrol cars, civilian airsphere, military airsphere. Last strike of Gahuru, freighter. Chapter 10 droids equipment, intelligence droid, security droid, archive droid, message drone, Sisteruvi security droid. Remember, somebody's life force was used to power that thing. Dodonna's battle analyst computer, Lance Master Net, disruption bubble generator, medical sensor, master coder, Sisteruvi brainwashing techniques. Some of their funky weapons and tools. Chapter 11 skills, some additions for the game system, additions for the Force, adventures in the Alliance of Free Planets. You're going to have adventures in Bakura System, in Bakura space, and afterward, etc. So, like I said, it was okay and really nice. I never ran a campaign here. I never really tapped into this. Some of the things about Star Wars, the galaxy is so massive, so huge. There's so many things, so many places to go, and no matter how much source book material you have, you don't really use all of it. I mean, it just is what it is. But I bought it because it came out. It was what I was doing back then. I was trying to keep up with the Joneses, so to speak, and anything that came out, I wanted to add it to my shelf. And eventually, I hit a wall. And then, of course, West End Games lost their license to produce stuff and went belly up. Defunct, bought out. I know the details, but I don't remember them on the top of my head. Anyway, this is Rick, and you guys have a great weekend.